Of course, watching the videotape from the first game around, we knew we were going to have to limit their threes and have a much better defensive effort. I thought we had that. Certainly some mistakes that we made. We talked about we were going to have to be in single-digit turnovers. Having the 16 was really way too many, but had a really hard time scoring. Give UCF some credit on what they were able to do with their pressure and forcing those turnovers. But and I thought Hendricks was sensational. Any time that he had an opportunity to make a play, he did, whether it be around the basket, from three, from mid-range, blocking a shot. I mean, just a little bit of everything. So I thought our guys played hard, and that's bottom line what we're trying to accomplish here is be a very, very hard-playing team, and I thought our guys emptied their tank for us here tonight.
Particularly in the second half, it seemed like that was the case. Was that, what were you saying to them to try to spark that?
Well, we talked about in the first half that it's so deflating when you turn the basketball over. We had 10 turnovers, and some that were, I thought, very careless, some that were reckless, and those are the two categories we put them in. And so when you don't even get a shot at the basket, it makes it very tough, and then it also gives them an opportunity to score. But we talked about that at halftime. We played lower turnover game in the second half, and in doing so, our defense was set. We could just have a little bit more juice and resistance on the defensive end. I thought our guys did a better job.
And talk about defensively. I mean, I know the first half offense didn't go well, but defensively, you talk about playing hard. I thought you all did a pretty good job defensively, especially considering how the last game you played, it was a night and day defensively difference. So talk a bit about defense.
Yeah, no, we were much better on both sides. Both halves defensively, and that's what we had talked about. I mean, we gave up 90-some points, 96 points in the first game. They made 17 threes. So we've been, ever since that game, we've adjusted our three-point defense a little bit and really emphasized some of our closeouts and pop backs and things like that. And then also mixed up our lineup a little bit to try to be a little bit better defensively and then shorten the game and play some longer possessions. And so even though we couldn't score, I thought they had a harder time scoring, certainly this time, than the first game we played them.
7 of 27 on threes. That's, I think you'll take that.
We'll take that, Larry, anytime.
I think this is the 10th different starting lineup that you've had this season. Is that just kind of part of it? Obviously you've had injuries, but what has that been like? I know it doesn't necessarily matter who starts, but I think that kind of emphasizes some of the things that you guys have done.
Yeah, it tells you something's going on, right? I mean, we've had a number of injuries. We've got 4 different guys out that have started games before. We've got a number of times, I'm looking at our huddle, we got 3 freshmen in there, and of course they're getting valuable experience, but it just means too that we're searching. We're trying to find a lineup, because your starting lineup is the lineup that typically plays the most minutes together. The first 4 to 5 minutes of the first half, first 4 to 5 minutes of the second half, that's a quarter of the game, and then you've got a number of lineups that could just find themselves together based on a number of factors. But we've gone with a little bit of length, a little bit of more size, and just trying to find a formula to not only get off to good starts, but a lineup that we can come back to. And of course, we've shortened our bench a little bit. Ari Seals, is just a -3 in his 21 minutes. He's gotten better and better, and so in practice he's earned the right to play, and he's doing a nice job. So we're just going to keep trying to find ways to get better.
When there is a lengthy part of the game that's a struggle, and you don't really have many guys left on the bench, what is that like? Do you just try to ride it out? I mean, how do you get through those, 7 minutes without scoring, whatever it was?
Yeah, we just keep trying to find solutions. You burn a timeout, you change a lineup, you mix up your play calls to something else. You formalize in a game plan a number of different things that you're looking for to maybe attack a team, and then you also have to be prepared for what you might see. They did some things that we saw a little bit against East Carolina, and pressuring Brandon out top. And just trying to wear him down and create then tempo. Jesaiah McWright is getting some experience at the point, but it's not something that he's super comfortable in yet. So it was a good game plan by them, but we just kept imploring them to control what you can control. Let's move on to the next play. Let's just stay in the moment. That's all we can do, and that's what we're going to stay focused on.
Talk a little bit more about Jesaiah. I think he's really been a bright spot for you lately. He's been developing. I know you thought highly of him coming in, recruiting him. So just talk a little bit about his development.
Well, he's our best athlete. When you look at speed and size and quickness, he's got what I call a track body, and he can run. And he's getting stronger. Of course, down the road he's got to get stronger, but he's getting some really important game minutes under his belt. And of course, I know early on as a freshman when you're playing spot minutes and you're coming in and every mistake is magnified, especially early. And now he's in a starting role where he needs to play a lot. And I think his confidence is building. He's making some threes, doing a little bit of different things, and he's also, I think, got a chance to be a very good defender, and he's getting better at it.
And if you could comment, I know fans are interested in the recruiting, but obviously the guys you've signed, you had 3 pretty good signees. So if you could comment a little bit about your signees and what you think of them?
Yeah, no, we're excited about all 3. Each of them are playing. Matt Reed's about to finish, but he's had a really good season at high school down in Texas, and I don't know his exact numbers off the top of my head, but he's a double-double type guy, averaging in that 16, 17 range. But he's a guy that's going to provide a lot of size for us, and he's got some skill out to 3. Jared Hall's in the state tournament in the Tennessee State tournament. I know they won last night. I think they play on Tuesday, but he's having a great year. He's in the running for Player of the Year in the state of Tennessee, and excited about his versatility. And then Carlos Williams, he's in their junior college tournament coming up here, and he's had some really nice games too. So all 3 of those guys we're excited about, and they're excited about coming. And then we're spending our time getting out here on the road recruiting and just being ready for spring recruiting.
And if you don't have to comment on this if you don't want to, but about how many more recruits do you think planning on signing, if you had to guess?
Yeah, so all those things are just really remain to be seen. In college basketball, you play your season and you have you evaluate, and then there's conversations. That's the way this works now. So it's different than it was in the past. But our I know there was a number of NBA scouts here tonight. Buzz Peterson, who I worked for, was here tonight. It's neat to see him. And like in the NBA, just like in college, you keep a lengthy list of guys and just evaluate, and then be ready when opportunities present themselves. Thank you. Thank you.